Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Wisconsin.
Welcome to Miller Park, where the Brewers have won 20 of their last 24 contests, trying to take care of last place Houston here on this Sunday afternoon and trying to gain a winning record on the season, going for their 82nd victory, and they're still in the wild card hunt, believe it or not. With 158 games to go, we're still talking about the sliver of hope this team has. They are 4 out. Need a lot of help. Bottom line is they just need to keep winning, and they're going to try to do that behind Mike Fiers here this afternoon. He'll oppose Jordan Lyles. Mike Fiers, the rookie, going for a 10th victory of the season. That would be a big number for him to hit in his first big league season. Hi, everybody. Alongside Davey Nelson, I'm Craig Kashan as we welcome you back to our coverage of Brewers baseball here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And, Davey, we saw a home run derby of sorts yesterday. Early on for Milwaukee, Corey Hart hit a couple of home runs, or Ramos Ramirez as well. But it's that middle part of the order that's really helped provide a lot of this offense for this team right now. But it's propelled this team to the top just about the majority of the season for home runs, and that's really important to this club.
Well, it certainly is, and you look at leading that pack is Ryan Braun with 41, but then Ramos Ramirez with 27 and Corey with 30. You know, that's the bulk, but boy, they have just been able, this team, they live and die by the home run, and they hit a lot of them, but they also get some, they spread the wealth around a little bit. When you talk about 2 other guys you didn't think, 18 home runs from Carlos Gomez and 10 from Nori Aoki.
So the Brewers trying to get to that 200 plateau. They have 400 games to do that. They lead right now the Nationals by 10 home runs in that race, but so important. They're 68 and 37 when they hit a home run. Just 13 wins when they don't. So look for the long ball again here this afternoon. And they also got to have Hart, that middle part of that order, providing the biggest pulse of the offense all season long. We saw it yesterday. B.A. and Rock take you the rest of the way. Enjoy Game 3.
Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, when you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Just a beautiful day for baseball today. The final Sunday of the regular season in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we're at Miller Park, the heart of the Brewers order. It's been rocking and rolling here this year. Ryan Braun, he's having another MVP-type season. The man right behind him, Aramis Ramirez, making a run at a potential Silver Slugger award this year. And Corey Hart, 2 home runs last night, gives him his second 30-home-run season of his career. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Great to have you with us today. It is the final Sunday of the regular season, the final matchup against the Astros as a National League team. It's a little nostalgic here today, and the Brewers are trying to keep things rolling here. They won last night. They need another victory today. The Brewers are getting great production out of the middle of their order, and that's been a significant story this season.
Yeah, what does the song say? Nobody does it better. No, don't worry. I'm not going to sing.
You should sing now.
I'm not going to sing, but the 3 guys in the middle of the Brewers order have been outstanding, and one of the reasons why they lead the National League in runs scored, home runs. They're doing just about everything right. And when you look at what these 3 guys have done, it makes everybody else in the batting order a lot better. You always have to be aware where Ryan Braun, Aramis Ramirez, Corey Hart are in that batting order. And because of those 3 guys, the top of the order has been very good. The bottom of the order has been solidified. And these guys have been outstanding all season long. And if they're able to get to the postseason, it's because of those 3 guys in that batting order.
Top run-producing trio in all of baseball. The Cardinals are second. But nobody's done it better, as Rock would say, than Corey Hart, Aramis Ramirez, and Ryan Braun. Just huge numbers this year. Ramirez has a chance to join Hart and Braun in the 30-homer club. The Brewers need to just keep winning. They are not eliminated yet. 4 games remain in the regular season. Brewers-Astros coming up next from Miller Park. Roof is closed here at Miller Park today. Just a touch too cool to have it open here, even though the sun is shining brightly. Tony DeFrancesco managing these Houston Astros down the stretch here, and the Astros, their final matchup against the Brewers here at Miller Park as the National League club. Here is DeFrancesco's lineup. It's Tyler Green leading off, Scott Moore, then Jed Lowry. Middle of the order, Matt Dominguez, Brett Wallace, and Fernando Martinez. And then Justin Maxwell Carlos Corcoran, the former Brewer, and Jordan Lyles rounding it out. That's the Piggly Wiggly batting order that will face Mike Fiers, who is ready to go. And the first pitch of the ball game on a beautiful Sunday is fouled away, and off we go today. The numbers for Mike Fiers. Big game for him today, Rock. He's looking for his 10th win of the season.
Yeah, certainly would like to be able to finish over 500. Sitting at 9-9, you can see more strikeouts than innings pitched for Fiers. Had a rough time with his curveball his last time out against Cincinnati in a loss.
Another foul out of play by Green, and it's quickly 0-2. Here are the Brewers defensively behind Mike Fiers today. Braun, Gomez, and Aoki in the outfield. An infield of Ramirez, Segura, Weeks, and Hart. Jonathan Lucroy will do the catching. And that is a starting 8 as far as the position players go that you could certainly see here for opening day in 2013. No balls and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss, and Fiers starts his day with a strikeout.
On his last start against the Reds, he got roughed up for 4 runs and 4 1/3, but he did have 8 strikeouts. Kind of an interesting start for Fiers. 2 different innings, he gave up a couple of runs, but other than that, I mean, the big strikeout pitch was there for him. Struggled with the curveball, but a good start today.
1 gone for Scott Moore, Astros right fielder, hitting .266 coming in. He's been a hot hitter in the month of September. Astros won the opener Friday night. The Brewers came back and won last night by a 9-5 final score. It was 9-0 going into the 9th inning. Astros scored a quick 5 runs against Livan Hernandez last night to tighten it up just a little bit, but Jose Veras came on, got the final out, and the Brewers stay alive. Still no X by the Brewers name on the standings, and that means we still have a chance. It would take a miracle, but it's possible.
The Washington Nationals with a last inning win against the St. Louis Cardinals last night, and now you never know what can happen. He's got to keep playing. Ron Renneke has his A team out there today.
Little half swing, and Moore goes through. A strikeout for Fiers. Back-to-back Ks.
We saw Marco Estrada in yesterday's game get a lot of mileage out of his fastball. So first 2 strikeouts today for Mike Fiers coming on the heater.
Now the Brewers as a pitching staff still chasing a major league record, and it is in their sights as well. They are 37 strikeouts away from matching the Chicago Cubs, who have the major league record, the 03 Chicago Cubs, I should say, led by Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor that year. So essentially need to average at 10 a game the last 4 games, and the Brewers will have the record. Little flare into shallow center. Segura wants it, and that is a great start to the day for Mike Fiers. A 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts. Brewers coming to bat. Ron Renicky trying to get this ball club on a hot streak to finish the season. It's been a great run to fight their way back into postseason contention. And they hit a little rough patch, losing 4 out of 5, but back in the winner's circle yesterday. And here is Renicky's Piggly Wiggly batting order today. Nori Aoki, Ricky Weeks, and Ryan Braun at the top. Ramirez, Hart, and Lucroy in the middle, with Gomez, Segura, and Fires rounding it out. And that's the batting order that will face Jordan Lyles, the young right-hander of the Astros.
Yeah, starting to turn things around a little bit. He's won 2 of his last 4 starts. He began the season 2-10, but he's been throwing the baseball better. He was 0-3 in 4 career starts against the Brewers.
He's a young pitcher that has good stuff. Probably in the big leagues a little sooner than the Astros had hoped for, but they don't have much going on in their minor league system. And Lyles sent to the big leagues despite being just 21 years of age. He was in the major leagues last year at the age of 20. And he has endured a lot of losing in his early big league career. 2-8 last year, 4-12 this season. But the Astros love his arm. Think he's got the mental capacity to withstand some of these storms, and they feel like he's going to be a very good major league pitcher at some point. But he's learning on the job as Aoki bounces one to short, and there is out number 1. Check the Astros defensively today, courtesy of Menards. Martinez, Maxwell, and Moore in the outfield. Then you got Matt Dominguez, Marwin Gonzalez, Tyler Green, and Brent Wallace around the horn. And Carlos Corcoran doing the catching. So 1 away for Ricky Weeks. Just a correction, Jed Lowry is at shortstop today for the Astros, as Weeks fouls one away. Lowry making the first out. 6-3 on the putout of Aoki. A lot of offense yesterday for the Brewers. 9 runs on 15 hits, and Milwaukee winning once again here in their home ballpark. This has been a tremendous home field advantage, which really doesn't show up that much in baseball, but it certainly has for the Brewers over the last few seasons. The Brewers are now 17 games over 500 in their home ballpark. They're 47-30 at Miller Park, and they have a chance to be the best home team, the best home record in the National League. St. Louis has a chance at that. The Reds are done with their home schedule. They won 50 games at home this year. So the Brewers could surpass that if they win out.
And the Brewers have done most of that winning in the second half. I mean, they've been a good team for a while now, and playing well on the road, and as usual playing pretty good baseball here at Miller Park.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Ricky Weeks. Down in the dirt, count goes full.
Ricky Weeks has had good success against Jordan Lyles with a couple of home runs in his career. Hey, look at the numbers for the Brewers against Lyles. Nothing really jumps out at you, but it's just one of those things where the Brewers have been able to, pick up wins.
Now Weeks is 3 for 9 lifetime against Lyles. 2 of those 3 hits are home runs. Aramis Ramirez is the hitter that has seen him most. Has 15 career at-bats. He's only been in the big leagues for a season and a half, Jordan Lyles. But he's making his 25th start of the season today as he walks Ricky Weeks. So a base runner for Ryan Braun, putting together a very strong case for his second MVP award this season. Ryan Braun leads the club in home runs. He also leads the National League. And as you check the Powerball home run leaderboard, the Brewers have a chance to have 5 players with 20 or more home runs this season. Aramis Ramirez a chance to hit 30 this year. He would join Hart and Braun in the 30 home run club. And the Brewers lead the league in home runs as a team.
Now you look at the National League offensive statistics, and Ryan Braun is at the top or very close to the top in just about every one. been an incredible season. Batting average, home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage, you name it. And Ryan Braun is at the top of the leaderboard.
Now Braun enters play today leading the league in home runs, total bases, slugging, and OPS. Tied for the league lead in RBIs. Chase Headley had a big day yesterday. Hit a home run for the Padres, had 3 runs batted in. So Headley and Braun are tied for the National League lead with 112 runs batted in.
And Ryan Braun has a chance to lead the league in hits. He's 4 behind Andrew McCutchen.
Braun with 187 hits this season. Any way you cut it, it is a miraculous season for Ryan Braun. Some of the ranks in the major offensive categories. He checks in 4th in the league in batting today. He's hitting .321. And remember, Melky Cabrera at some point will fall out of the batting race because he won't have enough plate appearances to win a batting title. So realistically, Braun is 3rd in the league in hitting. Buster Posey at .337, strong MVP candidate. Andrew McCutchen hitting .329, and then there's Braun, who leapfrogged Yadier Molina in the batting average rankings with his day yesterday. 2-2 to Braun. Weeks takes off. Braun gets jammed. A little pop-up, and now Weeks has to hustle back. Lowry makes a catch, and the throw is in time for the out. A double play. So that's how the inning ends. 4 base running by Weeks. Back on the mound, a couple of Ks in the first, and trying to pick up where Marco Estrada left off last night. What a great start. Marco joins us now from the Brewers dugout. Congratulations on what will be your final start. How'd you feel about your effort last night, Marco?
You know, I obviously finished pretty strong, but early in the game I didn't feel right. Was kind of rushing through things, and like I said, Cranny got on me a little bit, and you know, things changed. And ended up finishing pretty strong, so I felt pretty good about it.
It seemed like you really established fastball second, third time through. Was that by design because of the big lead, or you set it up with the off-speed stuff early in the game?
Yeah, a lot of it had to do with the big lead. But normally for me, that's usually what works, is me trying to locate a fastball. So I think once I got that going, you know, the off-speed stuff came in pretty good after that. But yeah, just trying to locate fastballs, that's normally what I try to do, and started doing it late in the game and worked out.
Always important to finish strong. You certainly did. 3 of your last 4 starts you did not allow a run. You have to feel good about your the way you finished this season.
I do. You know, and a lot of it has to do with the great defense I had behind me. The guys made amazing plays. Luke would call great games. We were always on the same page. So, yeah, and, just trying to make good pitches, and that's about it. But, yeah, I feel good about it.
Fires picks up his third strikeout, striking out Matt Dominguez. And, Marco, we're taking a look at some of your highlights from last night. So successful against the Astros last night, and picking up your 5th win. Was there a moment where you tried to talk your way into the 9th? How did that conversation go with Ron Renicky and Rick Kranitz after you completed 8?
I actually had to try to convince them just to let me out for the 8th. And then when I finally did, went out there, finished the 8th, and I still felt pretty good. I wanted to finish the 9th, so came down, talked to Ron for 2 seconds maybe, and he was like, no, that's it. He didn't give me much of a chance.
Well, talk about the pitching staff. We have been following the strikeout record. I'm not sure how dialed in you guys are, but you guys have a chance to set a major league record for strikeouts in a season as a pitching staff. You've been a big part of that. Had your 4th double-digit strikeout game, and so you need to average about 10 strikeouts a game for the remaining 4 games. Make sense of that for us from a staff that doesn't necessarily have strikeout pitchers.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't really know about this. I'm really not sure how close we are to it, but I know a month ago, someone had mentioned something, and I was like, okay, that's cool, but whatever. We're not really trying to get strikeouts. But if it happens, it'd be pretty cool honor, I guess, for the 5 of us that are still pitching, and the guys who have contributed to it. Yeah, I mean, if we get it, great. If we don't, it's whatever. It's really not a big deal. We're trying to get wins, not strikeouts.
You're 36 strikeouts away from tying a major league record, which the 03 Cubs held as a pitching staff. I'm wondering about you, though, specifically. Are you done now? I mean, have you been told to be available in the bullpen maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, or is your season over for the regular season at this point?
Yeah, I'm really not sure. I went out, did my normal routine today. I went for a run, played catch. So I'm still doing everything, but I'm really not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure if I'm going to be used in the pen or I'm done for the year, or at least for the regular season. Hopefully there's still a postseason for us.
Yeah, how about a playoff start? That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be amazing. That's what, I'm really, really hoping for one, so hopefully it happens.
Well, Marco, thanks for joining us. Great job last night. Enjoyed watching you pitch all season long, and you had a great finish to your season, if in fact it's over after last night.
Thank you guys very much. Thanks for having me.
That's Marco Estrada. 8 shutout innings last night. And man, what a way to go into the offseason, right, Rob? Yeah. To pitch like that and have that feeling for the entire offseason leading up to 2013.
Yeah, 3 of his last 4 starts, as I was talking about with Marco, did not allow a run. So 3 scoreless outings. He did pick up a loss against the Nationals, but he had to feel good about the way he finished.
There is a strike called right down the middle as Fernando Martinez strikes out. Mike fires with 4 punch-outs already. Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second inning, and the Brewers coming up. Aramis Ramirez will lead off. And today's Subway Sub Prize on the line. We check the American League East, and boy, how things are tightening up in the AL East. Baltimore tied with the Yankees. The Orioles are leading today. The Yankees are trailing today. So wouldn't that be something if the Orioles would take over that top spot from the Yankees? The Oakland A's are certainly a big part of the wild card picture in the American League, and a turnover of power. A couple of franchises that have been down and out for a long time, especially the Orioles. Orioles haven't had a postseason since 1997. And you might remember the famous Jeffrey Mayer incident in right field at Yankee Stadium.
Good thing there wasn't replay back then.
Well, that was one of the reasons replay was added.
Yeah.
Davey Johnson managed that Orioles club last time they were in the postseason. And baseball in the Beltway is back in a big way with the Nationals and the Orioles. 3 balls and a strike on Aramis Ramirez. A little tapper toward third. That will stay fair. That's going to be a tough play. No chance. Aramis Ramirez with a base hit as he keeps knocking at the door at 300. That's going to get him close. Matter of fact, that takes him to a 300 batting average.
Well, a hitter would take that any day. How many times you hit a line drive right at somebody and ends up being an out? You can see where the third baseman Dominguez is playing way behind the line and over toward the hole. You realize that ball is going to be fair, and no chance to get Ramirez at first base.
Here's Corey Hart now. Ramirez at first. What a day yesterday for Corey Hart. He had home runs number 29 and 30 yesterday. Had a solo home run, part of a back-to-back home run inning for the Brewers, and then he hit a 3-run shot his next time up. Had a 31 homer season back in 2010, his career best. So 2 of the last 3 years he's been a 30 homer performer. And remember, Hart missed some time last year with an injury. He missed all of spring training this year with knee surgery. I guess you don't need spring training. Maybe Corey Hart should just show up with about 3 days remaining in the spring.
Didn't take him long to get back into the swing too, with missing all of spring. And Sean Markham missed just about the entire spring. He started out pretty well this year.
Bouncing ball to short. Lowry over to second for 1, and the Astros turn a double play. Carsoup.com email the booth question today comes from George in Madison. What is the best race left in baseball right now, in your opinion?
Every division in the American League. The American League East is, we just talked about that, a dead heat. You know, the Tigers have a 2-game lead over the White Sox. And how about the Oakland A's? They're sneaking right in there, 2.5 behind Texas.
Could have a tiebreaker scenario. It's going to be interesting to see where the wild card ends up. Big day today in Texas. The Rangers are hosting the Angels in a doubleheader. They were rained out yesterday. Zach Greinke is pitching today for the Angels against Yu Darvish for the Rangers. Greinke getting roughed up a little bit. It's 4-1 Texas in the 5th inning. So with 4 games to play and 5 for those 2 teams, it could be a lot of changing of the guard in the American League. There's not one postseason spot secured yet in the AL.
That would be a major shock if the Angels didn't make the postseason. With all the money they spent in the offseason. Pitching, Albert Pujols. Wow.
C.J. Wilson.
Right. All the pitching that they came up with. And wow. That would be something.
Jonathan Lucroy takes a strike. 2-2 the count on Lucroy. Oakland will host Seattle tonight, or rather later today. It'll be an afternoon game in Oakland. And American League Central is tight as well. 2 games separate 1 and 2. Tigers up 2 on the White Sox. Tigers are in Minnesota today. They are scoreless in the second, and the White Sox are trailing early to the Rays. White Sox have been on a free fall here the last 2 weeks. So the wild card, either Baltimore or New York, will win the division. And whoever comes up short, there's no guarantee they'll be the wild card team, especially if the A's keep playing well, the Angels. Looks like we're set up, Rock, for a pretty good finish. Pretty exciting final week of the season. I don't know if it's going to match last year.
Yeah.
That dramatic 162, but a lot to resolve yet. Brewers are 4 back with 4 to play. They need to win out, need the Cardinals to lose out, and that would set up a tiebreaker with St. Louis. But you have the Dodgers in the mix as well, so they would need to lose 2 games over the next 4 as well. There's a strike called, and Lucroy is rung up. So a 3-batter inning for George Lyles. Picks up his first strikeout. Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine.
Top of the third here in Miller Park. No score between the Brewers and Astros. I'm Telly Hughes, and I'm pleased to be joined by Ellen Melvin, the wife of Brewers General Manager Doug Melvin. And Ellen, you guys had a very special check presentation before today's game. Talk a little bit about that and where it was donated to.
Yes, today we, our Pink Tie Guy event, we raised $52,000 today. The money goes to breast cancer awareness and prevention programs. And the money went $26,000 to House of Peace and $26,000 to ABCD after breast cancer diagnosis.
And when you are raising money for this and all the effort you know that goes into this, when you have an opportunity to donate $52,000, what does that mean to you and how does that make you feel?
It's a cause that I hold near and dear to my heart. I lost my mother to breast cancer 21 years ago, and then one of my best friends 3 years ago. So for us to be able to have a voice and be able to help and raise money and awareness for these worthy causes, it means so much to me.
Well, we appreciate all your efforts and continue the good work.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, Brian, let's send it back up to you.
All right, Telly, thanks. And thanks to Ellen Melvin. She does great work in the community, and it's always a great event. Pink tie event as Maxwell takes a called strike 3 and fires. Is revving him up here today. That is 5 punch outs already.
I think taking a page out of the Marco Estrada book. Look at that fastball. You can't walk it across any better than that. And We talked about TeMarco, about all the fastballs that he was throwing last night, getting a lot of strikeouts, and every one of the strikeouts so far for Mike Fiers, all 5 of them coming on fastballs.
There's been a lot of talk about Fiers and whether the Brewers would shut him down or let him continue to start games, and he hasn't been quite as sharp. He got off to such a great year. I mean, you look at his starts that took him through really the end of August, and he was pitching at such a high level for the Brewers, had an ERA under 2. So he set high expectations for himself. But he's given up some runs in the month of September. 3 times he's allowed 4 earned runs in a game this month, had a 3 earned run game as well. And, you know, he's never pitched this much in his professional career. But I think the Brewers are trying to, using that marathon runner's mentality, try to push him into an area that he's never been, and that'll set him up for next season.
And the problems that he was having was really with his curveballs we talked about in the first inning. You know, not so much not able to throw it for strikes, but it just doesn't have that quick snap on it that it did for most of the season. And a lot of times that's a sign of a guy tiring a bit, just kind of rolling out of the hand and not that good downward action on it, late break.
Well, there are a number of players that have infused great life into this organization, but I'd say Fiers is probably at the top of the list when you consider what he was able to do as he walks Carlos Corcoran, his first blemish today, a 1-out walk in the 3rd. Well, a reminder, you can get all your high school football action with Fox Sports Prep Zone. Tune in Friday at 7 p.m. on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Wisconsin Rapids and Stevens Point. That's the televised game of the week, where you can log on to foxsportswisconsin.com. West Appear against Seymour, and River Valley and Lancaster. For upcoming schedules and Plus channel info, visit foxsportswisconsin.com. One out with a runner at first for Jordan Lyles, the Astros pitcher. Up there to bunt a runner over. Scoreless game here in the 3rd. Lyles has been a good bunter this year, 6 sacrifices. And that one's a strike. But if you remember back to Mike Fiers, you know, the Brewers, you got to late May, and when he made his first start, Jonathan Lucroy had just gotten injured. That was the day. Fiers' first start was the day that Lucroy broke his hand, and you knew it was going to be significant time for Lucroy to be out. Chris Narvetson had just recently gone on the disabled list with a shoulder injury. The Brewers had just lost earlier in the month Matt Gamble and Alex Gonzalez, so things weren't going well for the Brewers. And then here comes Mike Fiers, and he makes his first big league start against the Dodgers, went 7 innings, 1 run, and just stayed on an impressive roll for the next 3 months.
And Fiers and Maldonado right around the same time, the first of the youth movement for Milwaukee. The guys that have really played a big part in what's been going on here this year. But you're right. I mean, that start that Fiers made against the Dodgers really put a shot in the arm, and, you know, given the organization and the position players a sense that, you know what, things have not gone all that well so far, but you've got some pretty good arms out there on the mound. You know, Maldonado did a nice job filling in for Lucroy. And you knew you were going to get good defense out of Maldonado, but his bat really, he held up his end of the bargain at the plate.
There's a bunt, and it will roll. Hart's going to have to play it and throws it away. Got a chance here. Put a tag on him. Nope, the Brewers don't. They had a chance at Lyles, and he looks like he's hurt.
Yeah, he ran into Ricky Weeks, and normally a pitcher is going to take the brunt of that. Ricky's solid as it gets.
Hart thought that ball was going to roll foul when he finally decided it was not going to. Tried to hurry his throw, and the Brewers in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, be a sacrifice and an E3. See, Corey had it in plenty of time, but just threw it over the head of Weeks. And then shoulder to shoulder, and that's the pitching shoulder for Jordan Lyles. That might be the problem that he's having right now. Ricky's not going to lose too many of those collisions. Just a bad throw.
Oof.
Man, that's the pitching shoulder.
It's like running into a concrete pillar.
Got him good.
So he's safe on the throwing error by Hart, and now the Astros with runners at the corners. Good that he's able to stay in.
Yeah, the mistake that Corey Hart made is if there's nobody out, you might want to let that ball go foul. But with one out already, you get the sure out at first base, and then you have a man at second with 2 outs. I think we had to do over again. He wouldn't have hesitated.
So now first and third with 1 away. And here is Tyler Green back to the top of the order. Playing second base today. No Jose Altuve, the Astros all-star second baseman. A day off. And Green squares. Checking the signs from Tony Clark, their third base coach. Tony DeFrancesco, their manager.
What could possibly be going on in the third inning? You got the pitcher at first. You figure he's not going to be running. Swing away, driving some runs.
And he does, and he rips one into the gap in left center. One hopper off the wall. 1 run is in. Lyles is going to stop at third. It's an RBI double for Tyler Green. And the Astros take the lead 1-0.
Well, with all those signs going down there, and you figure he's going to swing away anyway. And I think Fires gave Green a fastball right down the middle. Second time through, Green able to center on the heater and driving a run. Yep, down in the zone, middle in, and Tyler Green able to hammer it into the gap out there in left center. Had the pitcher not been at first, it probably would have scored a couple.
So Corcoran scores the first run of the game. And now second and third with 1 out. Infield halfway in for the Brewers for Scott Moore. Moore with 9 home runs, 25 driven in. A strikeout victim in the first. Fires with 5 strikeouts thus far through the first 2 1/3. And there's a strike.
And it took something off. One of the rare off-speed pitches that Fires has thrown today. Well, you're Mike Fires, and you're sitting in that dugout last night, and you watch Estrada throw fastballs by these guys all night. And then you have Hernandez coming in, throwing curveballs and changeups, and they're teeing off. What would you be doing? I guess I'd do the same thing. Throw the fastball.
There's another one for a strike. 1-2. Fires has faced the Astros just once this season. He made a start against them on August 1st. Went 6 innings, 2 runs. Was the winning pitcher that day. Picked up his 5th win. Ooh, didn't miss by much. Another fastball away. And the count 2-2.
Amazing to take that pitch with a couple of men on. But he did, and he got rewarded with a pitch out of the strike zone.
Second and third, and Moore fouls it back. Another fastball. Fires was making a run at a potential Rookie of the Year discussion, as his earned run average as late as August 7th was down to 1.80. Then he had that blow-up game in Colorado where he gave up 8 earned runs. That was the correction. ERA at 3.55 starting play today. And a little flare. Is that caught? It is. Ramirez catches it in the air. And Tony DeFrancesco, the Astros manager, wants an explanation.
No, not much you can do about it at this point. It looked pretty close. Scott Moore not convinced that he's out. Yeah, a little slice job, and well, it's hard to tell on that angle. There's a slow motion replay of that catch by Aramis Ramirez. Everything all at the same time, but Andy Fletcher gave the out call. Scott Moore is still at first base. He's not convinced he's out, but he was called out in a line drive.
I don't blame DeFrancisco. At least you asked for help. That ball clearly bounced. And yep, hits the dirt into Ramirez's glove. So the Brewers catch a big break.
Well, he would have been out anyway.
Good point.
Ramirez got up and threw the guy out, so he would have been out regardless. Ready to make the play. Point is moot. Called him safe, no catch. He would have thrown him out.
So 2 gone, and here's Lowry. He fouls it back. DeFrancisco took over for Brad Mills, who was relieved of his managerial duties. DeFrancisco had been managing the Astros AAA club in Oklahoma City. But the Astros named Bo Porter as their next manager. The Nationals third base coach, Bo Porter. And he'll stay with Washington throughout their postseason.
Somewhat of an uncomfortable situation for both Bo Porter and the Nationals, right? Interesting timing of that decision. We've been talking about that ever since it happened.
It's got to be tough on this guy, though. I mean, he was one of the finalists, and to have already announced that for next year, and yet DeFrancisco still managing. Very successful minor league manager, Tony DeFrancisco. Second and third with 2 outs. Fires in an 0-2 count on Jed Lowry, the switch hitter. Lowry's still playing with that bulky knee brace, just trying to get through the year healthy, and that's been a problem for Lowry, who began his career with the Red Sox. And when he was drafted in the first round by Boston, they thought he was the shortstop of the future there at Fenway.
15 home runs, not too bad. You don't look at that guy and think about 15 homers. That's some surprising power for a guy that doesn't look all that big.
He's only played 94 games this season. Lowry's always been a good hitter. It's just staying on the field has been a challenge for him. He is their highest paid player right now. Active player. They have some contracts that are elsewhere. And a swing and a miss. Fires, strikes out Lowry. Pulled the string on him. Good changeup. And Fires able to get out of a jam, although he does give up a run. It was an error in the inning. Fires now with 6 strikeouts.
Brewers trailing 1-0 here in the third at Miller Park. I'm Sophia Minert, and time now to hear from you, the fans, on the pulse of social media. Today, the last day game of the season for the Brewers, and they also bid adieu to the Astros as a division foe and in the National League as Houston prepares to make their move to the AL West next year. The Brewers will make a trip to Houston next June, so that being said, which series on the Brewers' 2013 schedule are fans most wanting to see? You can tweet us at FS Wisconsin with the hashtag #SaveTheDate. Bay and Rock, don't worry, you'll still get your Houston trip in next year.
That's right, and that means a trip to the Raging Cajun. Couple trips to the Raging Cajun. Yes, our favorite Cajun spot. Little crawfish etouffee on the road. Carlos Gomez on the first pitch pops it up into center field. Out number 1. Well, we're tracking some milestones here. The Brewers have plenty to cover. See if we can get them all into one swoop here. The first team since '96 to lead the league in homers and stolen bases. The Brewers are doing that right now. They are 33 strikeouts away from tying a major league record for team strikeouts. Aoki's already established a new rookie franchise record in doubles. Aramis Ramirez still 3 doubles away from tying that mark. And you see Braun, his first 30-30 season was last year, and he's done it again this season. No player's ever done it twice in franchise history. It's only happened on 3 occasions, at least 30 homers and 30 steals. And no player's ever gone 40-30 in franchise history like Braun has done this season. So it's been a fun year in that regard with the milestones.
Been a nice recovery for this team after all the injuries, that they experienced in May, and they would rebound. They finally found their identity after the All-Star break, and they've been one of the better teams in the league. John Renicky doing a nice job keeping his team focused. Renicky and his coaching staff.
From 12 games under to where they are currently at 4 games over. Segura on a hop out to second base for the first out. Tyler Green makes a nice play. 2 outs in the inning. Yeah, you got to give Renicky a lot of credit. Coaches, you wouldn't know if they were 12 under, 12 games up. Just that nose to the grindstone mentality. I think they follow the lead of their manager, who shows up every day just ready to get after it. This guy spends a lot of time, not just with players and the communication side of things, but the game planning, the preparation.
I think the coach and manager, they wear losses more than anybody. I mean, the players, they feel it when they lose, but I think that those coaches, the way they prepare and get their team ready to go, and the manager, I think they feel those types of losses, feel tough losses more than the players themselves. They're stuck watching. Can't do much about it on the field. They can prepare the team, but that's about it.
Now, the nature of the struggles for the Brewers, I mean, when you have a ball club that is losing games late inning relief, those are the toughest ones to take. As Fires strikes out, and a 1-2-3 inning for Lyles. 1-0 Houston. We go to the 4th.
game here on this Sunday afternoon. Fire's throwing a pretty good game. He's got 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He struck out 2 in each of the first 3 innings. A Tyler Green double scored the only run of the game after Corcoran had a 1-out walk. 1-0 as we head to the top of the 4th.
Just a reminder that Sundays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, Tom Brokaw has Boys in the Hall, the personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends, and this week it's Duke Snider, the Duke of Flatbush. Boys in the Hall after the game, presented by Subway Restaurants, where winners eat. Matt Dominguez will lead off for Houston as we play in the 4th. Astros cleanup hitter today, Matt Dominguez.
Astros have had 3 different cleanup hitters in this series. Just trying to find something that's going to work, something that's going to score some runs. They found that combination last night in the 9th inning. A tough year all the way around for the Astros.
I was talking to Tony DeFrancesco today. It's not about what looks like a cleanup hitter in his lineup. It's for him, it's about putting the pieces that can get from one step to the other. I mean, you know, typically in a big league lineup, you need a cleanup hitter who can hit the ball out of the ballpark, be a run producer, but the Astros really don't have that guy. So then you're trying to separate left-handers perhaps, or if you start to figure out, okay, if this guy gets on, can he go to the right side? I mean, it's a very unusual way to put together a lineup.
And you look at, you know, most of your productive offensive teams. I mean, 1 through 4, 1 through 5 in the lineup is going to be consistent every day. That's what has been the difference for Ron Renicky. Once he had Aoki settle in that leadoff spot, Ricky Weeks hitting number 2, and then you had the big 3. All 3 of them having big years this year.
Fires with his 7th strikeout to start the 4th inning.
Well, what else? A fastball, and it's right down the middle. Astros missing some very hittable pitches the last couple of days.
That'll bring up Brett Wallace. Checking the scoreboard, the Cardinals have an early lead on the Nationals today. They're in the 2nd inning. Cardinals lead 3-0. Any combination of a Cardinals victory or a Brewers loss eliminates Milwaukee from postseason contention. That elimination number is 1. There's a good hook in there for strike 1. Actually, the Cardinals have just added to their lead. It's now 5-0 in the 2nd inning. Ross Detweiler giving it up for the Nationals. Been some lopsided scoring in that series.
Yeah.
Did you see the Michael Morse grand slam scenario yesterday?
Yeah.
So it was originally called a fair ball in play. They looked at it, overturned it. And there's a called strike 3 as Wallace goes down. A fastball right by him. Strikeout number 8 for Mike Fiers.
And just keep watching fastballs go by one after another, and a little bit too close to take. And Wallace, a strikeout victim. You know, 8 strikeouts, half of them looking, half of them swinging. Go ahead.
So in that game last night, there was some question whether Morse, there was all kind of chaos on the bases because the bases were loaded and he didn't know where to spot the runners. And Mike Matheny said that once they overturned the original call and Morse was allowed to carry on with his home run trot, well, he passed a couple of runners because nobody knew where they were supposed to be. So the umpires reset every base runner, including Morse. They sent him back to home plate. You can imagine how the scene's unfolding. So Morse takes a fake swing and then pretends like he hits it out and then runs around the bases. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen.
One of the problems that you have with replay, right?
Hey, but they got it right.
I mean, right, yeah, I know.
I don't think he needed to do the fake swing, but
crazy things like that are going to happen. But I guess, you know, if you you call replay if you have replay, and I think the umpires did it right. Call it in play if you're not sure.
Right.
Let the play carry out. Everybody ends up where they're going to end up, and then if you call it a home run, then it's an easy call. You don't have to worry about setting base runners.
That is at the heart of the discussion about replay.
Right.
Where to place runners. Curveball just missed. Country Joe West.
Make no mistake who's in charge of the game when Joe West is behind home plate. He doesn't mess around.
He's a fine crooner as well.
You know, he gets that from Bruce Fremming. You know, we missed Bruce's birthday. It was a couple of days ago. We didn't mention it. 73 years old.
Oh, we didn't mention it on the air.
Right.
We did it excessively while he was in the booth. That ball's hit. Martinez sends that one deep center field, and that is gone. Fernando Martinez with his second homer in as many days.
Yeah, looked like it was struck out on a curveball. Wasn't called, and then another pitch. Gets another swing and hits it out of the ballpark.
2-0 Houston. He hit one to center field last night as well.
Yeah, fastball up out over the plate. I'd like to see a replay of that curveball that Joe West did not call a strike. He didn't call it a strike, and he gets an extra swing, and see you later.
No doubter. His 5th homer. And the Stros lead 2-0. Justin Maxwell now.
Here's a curveball we were talking about. Yeah, a little bit high.
And strike 2. Fiers has given up 2 runs.
Dude, that's what we've been talking about with Fiers lately. I mean, that curveball, he's been either leaving it up in the strike zone or not able to throw it for strikes. And most of the season, that's been a money pitch for him. Not only getting the swing and miss, but getting a called strike with it. Hasn't been able to do that as much.
Got away with a hanger there as Maxwell pops it up. And that'll do it for the Astros in the 4th. But Fernando Martinez goes deep off Mike Fiers, and it's 2-0 Houston. Sunday afternoon, and the Brewers find themselves trailing 2-0. Astros with a single run in the 3rd, got a home run from Martinez in the 4th. And here we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Top of the order coming up. Our AT&T trivia question today: which team holds the NL record for most home runs in a season? Brewers are in pursuit of another 200 home run season. They're 2 away from that. 198 homers leads the league. Got us to thinking about some of the big home run hitting teams over the years. Well, right now the Brewers look like a lot to win that home run title as a team. The Washington Nationals are 10 back. As Aoki bounces one to first, followed by Wallace, and Aoki safe. That should have been a play that was made for the Astros, but Aoki reaches, and the door is open for Milwaukee in this 4th inning.
And that's all it takes. It would have been a nice backhand play by Wallace, not able to handle it. That could go either way, either a hit or an error. Certainly a play that's got to be made in the major leagues, but we'll see how they score it.
Well, Aoki will be the 3rd base runner. Brewers have a walk and an infield hit, but both of those runners were wiped out on double plays. So Lyles has still faced the minimum. Ricky Weeks back to the mound and able to beat that down the line. Lyles gets the lead out. Weeks reaches on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, a little hesitation by Jordan Lyles to get the ball over to second base, and not able to turn the double play. That was going to go down as an error, though, for Brett Wallace.
So 1 out. Weeks reaching on a fielder's choice, and Lyles will face Ryan Braun. Braun popped up with Weeks on the move in the 1st inning, and I'm not sure if Weeks didn't see the baseball or wasn't quite sure, but he didn't get stopped right away and then was not able to get back to first. It was doubled up.
I'm not sure where the baseball was. You take off, you got your head down, you're not sure where the ball is. In that case, you've got to look at your 3rd base coach. He's going to be pointing to where you should go. Ended up being a double play. When in doubt, look at your coach.
They won't steer you wrong.
Could never go wrong doing that.
Ball and a strike on Braun. Well, the Brewers falling behind early today. 2-0 Houston. Brewers scoring a ton of runs during this great finish. Final 6 weeks of the year, they're averaging nearly 6 runs a game. Had 9 last night as Braun takes a strike. Man, he's upset. He let that one go by. 1-2 the count.
Well, got a pretty good fastball working today. He doesn't have big velocity with it, but he's been able to get some good downward movement, keeping the ball on the ground for the most part.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 gone. 2-2. That fastball clocked at 93 had some movement to it.
Little cut. And sometimes, you go glove side with these right-handers, you're going to get some natural cutting action, even when they don't try to. Most of the time on the arm side, you're going to get some sink or some tail.
Arm side sink, glove side cut. That's a familiar phrase you hear down at the cage with Johnny Naron.
Yeah.
That's from the pitcher's perspective. His arm side or his glove side. That's the direction the baseball goes. Braun, a bouncer, cut off at 3rd. Dominguez, the out at 2nd, the out at 1st. A double play. So despite 3 base runners, Jordan Lyles has faced the minimum through the first 4 innings.
As we head to the 5th inning, Mike Fiers has given up a couple of runs, but he's got 8 punch-outs. And today's timer of the game winner, the Fat Seagull of Manitowoc. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to an April or May 2013 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
The Fat Seagull.
Yeah.
I love that. You know where you see fat seagulls? On the post. They don't fly well. Carlos Corcoran fouls it back to get us started here in the 5th. You ever been to the Fat Seagull, Rock?
I have not. I've been to Manitowoc a couple of times.
Oh,
I know they have some pretty good harbors there. You get some salmon fishing in.
Nice. What's the drive time from Milwaukee to Manitowoc?
Hour. Right up 43.
Swing and a miss, and it goes to 0-2 on Corcoran.
Depends on how fast you go.
Depends on if you're a fat seagull or not. No balls, 2 strikes. Fiers with 8 strikeouts so far through the first 4 innings. Carlos Corcoran's a former Brewer.
Switch hitter. Pretty good catch and throw guy behind home plate. I think the only hitter that Fiers has been behind was Corcoran. He drew a walk in the 2nd inning.
And Corcoran scored the first run. 8 walks, or rather 8 strikeouts, 1 walk for Fiers today. There's also an error in that inning. And that one's just outside. I'll never forget Carlos Corcoran's first major league hit as a Brewer. It came against Cincinnati. Paul Janisch was the pitcher in a blowout game, the shortstop. Little jam shot, long run for Braun. Segura's back, and Braun makes the basket catch.
I bet he doesn't want you to really mention that it was a position player he got his first hit on.
And now you know the rest of the story.
You know, come on. Hey, the best seats, prices, perks, and the best of Brewers baseball. It's all yours with a season ticket package. For more information, call 414-902-HITS.
Paul Janisch throws gas, though. I mean, it's not like throwing Jose Canseco out there, you know. He was throwing 92 miles an hour.
All right.
That ball's hit deep. Jordan Lyles will watch this one go. The Astros pitcher with a home run. 3-0 Houston. And Lyles stood up there and looked like he knew what he was doing, and he knew he got it. Got a little bat flip after that home run.
And it was a blast up there in the 2nd deck. And you mentioned that the Brewers had a 9-0 lead in yesterday's ball game. Well, the Astros have scored 7 unanswered runs. Actually make that 8 unanswered runs. Look at the point of contact right there. Good extension for Lyles on a fastball. A little bit of a bat flip, and 3-0.
First career major league home run for Jordan Lyles. He stands up there like a hitter and certainly knew what he was doing.
That wasn't that bad.
No. Didn't show him up or anything.
No.
You know, when you're feeling good.
I mean, you pitcher, you get a ball like that, I guess you're entitled to just, you know, flip it a little bit. No show up.
Normally you drop the bat as fast as you can, panicking, trying to beat it down the line. But when you can hit him like that and watch him, why not?
Interesting thing about this game, he's given up 2 home runs as far as he's only given up 8 all year. So not a pitcher that gives up many homers, but 2 today.
Well, the Brewers are in a deeper hole, 3-0. And not swinging the bats very well so far. Only 1 hit. That was an infield hit by Aramis Ramirez. In the air to left center. Fairly deep, but playable. 2 outs as Green flies out.
And 5 starts in the month of September. Mike Fiers only given up 2 homers. He's given up 2 today. Unusual.
The Brewers minor league pitcher of the year last season. Got off to a so-so start in AAA this year. Nothing special, but had earned some equity in the organization, and when there was a need, when the Brewers needed a starting pitcher, he was the guy. And boy, did he ever take advantage of an opportunity. No matter how this game ends today, Fiers to win 9 games, essentially from the 5th spot in the rotation. Any club would take that. He's got a chance to win his 10th today, but the Brewers are going to have to come back to do it. Fiers' best day in the big leagues this year probably came against Cincinnati on August 7th when he went 8 innings and gave up just 1 earned run against the heavy hitting Reds. It's the longest start of his career. Had 7 strikeouts that day, no walks. He's had 2 games where he struck out double digits. Had a 10 strikeout game against the Pirates. Struck out 10 against Arizona in June. There's a swing and a miss. And Fiers with number 9, but the Astros add to their lead. It's now 3-0 on a home run by the pitcher. Back at Miller Park, Aramis Ramirez on the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th flies out to left field. And 1 away for Jordan Lyles. Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Alita Mercer and the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, Chris Withers, our producer today, and Kevin Shank directing in the truck.
Got a little knitting going on out there in the seats. Is that knitting or crocheting? Not sure I know the difference, but
I'll go with crocheting. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Looks like knitting. He's got a hat working. Just be heads up for foul balls. That's all. Great crowd today. Kind of an angelic scene here at Miller Park from our vantage point, with the sun shining through the panels down on the crowd as the sun pours out on the first base side.
Beautiful day out there today.
If you're asking why the roof isn't open, it's just a slightly too chilly, I suppose. Jam shot. Dominguez cuts it off, and Hart is retired. 2 outs. Corey Hart had a great night last night. 2 home runs in the game last night. And Hart now at 30 on the year. First one in the deep left center field. That was a solo home run that followed Ramirez's home run, and then hit a 3-run shot in his next at bat. Checking the Powerball home run count for Corey Hart. 30 for the season. Playing on an injured foot that will not heal until the offseason. Torn plantar fascia in his left foot. Can't do any more damage to it, but it's going to stay torn until he stops playing Major League Baseball. As Lucroy lines one to right. And that is a quick inning for Jordan Lyles. 1, 2, 3. The Brewers go quietly in the 5th. Astros lead 3-0 as we head to the 6th inning now. Astros getting single runs in the last 3 innings. Mike Fiers today has 9 strikeouts, but he's given up those 3 runs, including 2 solo home runs. Fernando Martinez and Jordan Lyles, the pitcher. And Fiers 1 strikeout away from matching his career best. 5 innings, 3 runs, all earned in what will be his final start of the season. Time to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Jordan Lyles topping out at 95. Fires his best fastball at 91.
And Fiers really has done a nice job getting ahead of the count. He made the mistake to the pitcher, a fastball that he left out over the plate, but he's been 0-2, 1-2 on just about every hitter today.
That ball is hit high and deep right center field. Back is Aoki, and that one is gone. Another home run for the Astros. Jed Lowry with his 16th, and it's 4-0 Houston. Starting to grumble here at Miller Park.
Yeah, starting to zero in on those fastballs from Fiers right now. I guess going up there, they expecting a lot of curveballs early in the game, but up there now looking fastball, getting fastball, and some pretty good rips. 3 homers for the Astros. They hit 3 yesterday.
He had 3 home runs in the 9th inning yesterday. And not a home run hitting team, but you can see that curveball that Fiers is throwing just hanging up in the zone. Not a whole lot of life on that curveball. That ball's hit deep to left. Ryan Braun looks up. That ball is fair and gone. And Dominguez with a home run. My goodness. 5-0 Houston.
Well, for a guy that came in with allowing only 8 home runs in 21 starts, he's given up 4 today. Well, the good news is that they're all solo shots. The Brewers still have an opportunity. Put men on, then give up the home runs. You're in big trouble. Starting to get into the danger zone now. Fastball up and in. Dominguez gets the bat head out. And just inside that left field foul pole. Astros playing long ball today.
5-0. Back-to-back home runs to start the 6th as Brett Wallace wheel bat takes a breaking ball for a strike. Renicky trying to get a reliever ready as fast as he can, but it's been a quick strike here in the 6th inning. Brandon Kensler ball and 2 strikes on Wallace. Brewers haven't done much offensively. They are being shut out on a 1-hitter. Lyles has faced the minimum through the first 5 innings. He's allowed 3 base runners, but 3 double plays already for Houston defensively. Brewers will welcome in the Padres tomorrow. Starts a 3-game series with San Diego, the final series of the season. Broken bat, foul ball. Count remains at 1 and 2 strikes. Now later today, the Packers will try to even their record at 2-2 in a game against the New Orleans Saints. After the game, you can read Paul Emmek's coverage and analysis at foxsportswisconsin.com. Astros with 4 home runs here today. It's only the 3rd time all year they've hit 4 home runs in a game. And it's the 2nd in this series. There's not a team you expect to beat you with a long ball.
As we mentioned, since the 9th inning yesterday, they've outscored the Brewers 10-0.
Astros have 11 home runs this series. Full count, nobody out. 5-0 Astros, and a swing and a miss. There is number 10 for Mike Fiers. So it is all or nothing here for Fiers. That matches a career best for Fiers. 3rd time this year he struck out at least 10 in a game.
He's starting to try and go more with the off-speed pitches because these Astros, as we've said, starting to sit all over that fastball. More curveballs, more changeups.
Fernando Martinez, he homered back in the 4th inning. He's homered in consecutive games. Martinez used to be a speed player. He was one of the top prospects in the Mets organization. Suffered a terrible knee injury and not the kind of speed player he was. He and Carlos Gomez are good friends. They came up together in the Mets system, and after Gomez was traded away. One of the reasons why the Mets were willing to give up on Gomez is because they felt Martinez had elevated himself as a prospect to that level. Gomez was sent from the Mets to the Twins in the Johan Santana deal. Bouncing ball to Segura. Nice play, and he finishes it off with a good throw. Well done by the young shortstop.
And a tough hop. One hopper almost ate him up. A nice off hands. Hey, get your tickets now for Brewers on Deck, presented by Time Warner Cable. That's Sunday, January 27th. Purchase by November 1st to get a voucher for a select Brewers home game next April. Visit brewers.com/on-deck for details.
Two runs in on back-to-back home runs. Now 2 gone. And it's Justin Maxwell. Ball and a strike on Maxwell. Young center fielder. Getting some consistent play in the big leagues as he lines out one into right field, a base hit. So a 2-out single. And for the Astros, that is their 6th hit. That's their first hit that has not been a home run. Or their second, I beg your pardon. To go along with Tyler Green's double. Four homers, a double, and a single by Maxwell. And here's Carlos Corcoran. Looking ahead to the Brewers' 6th inning, they'll be at the bottom of their order. It's getting into that danger zone now, down 5-0, getting late in this one. St. Louis has extended their lead over the Nationals to 7-1. They play in the 4th inning there. Washington just hasn't been able to shake the Braves. In all probability, they will win a National League East title. Their magic number is 1. But they've been around that 4 or 5 game range for a while now.
Yeah.
Braves keep winning. Braves have won 7 of their last 10, including a win last night. And Atlanta has Chris Medlin on the mound today.
Yeah, just looking over the standings, the Chicago Cubs, they've lost 7 in a row. It looks like Dale Swaim's team is going to lose 100 this year. They got 99 losses. Looking at the standings from a different angle.
Yeah, that's 100 lost seasons. Those are the ones that stand out, and the Brewers endured a few of those in the past, but hoping those days are long gone. I like what Mark Atanasio said. He goes, there was a day when you'd be happy with a 500 season, but that day's gone. Brewers don't hope for an 81-81 campaign. They have much higher expectations each and every year, which they should. I guarantee the Pirates would settle for a 500 season.
Was it 5-6 years ago? I remember being in Pittsburgh where the Brewers guaranteed themselves a 500 season. They won their 81st game. That was a big deal back in those days. Snapped a long string of sub-500 seasons.
Now the Pirates are going to have 20 straight years without a winning season. And they were 16 games up at one point, late.
Right now they're 4 games under. kind of turnaround for them in a negative way.
Pirates did beat the Reds last night. They're leading Cincinnati today 3-2. After they were no hit in their home ballpark by Homer Bailey on Friday night. 1-2 to Corcoran. 2-2. Fiers trying to wrestle his way through 6. Pitch count at 104. Probably his last inning. Might be his last hitter. But you do have the pitcher coming up next. 2-2. And right off the end of the bat, Fiers makes the play. He'll take it himself. Side retired. 6 innings for Fiers. 10 strikeouts. But the Astros put a 5 spot on him today. Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by Marathon Petroleum. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Hey, come out to Miller Park as the Brewers host the San Diego Padres starting on Monday for the final home games of the year. For tickets, call 414-902-4000.
The Padres, they've been playing good baseball, and that'll be a series that'll match up two of the top slugging third basemen in the National League, Chase Headley and Aramis Ramirez. Carlos Gomez leads off. Jordan Lyles is pitching a gem today so far. He's faced the minimum through the first 5 innings. Despite 3 base runners, Brewers have a walk, an infield hit, and a man that reached on an error, but 3 double plays turned by the Astros. So they are just now getting around to Gomez again in the 6th inning, his 2nd plate appearance. Gomez sitting on 18 home runs for the season. There's a hot one through for a base hit. Just the 2nd hit for Milwaukee.
Got a breaking ball from Lyles and able to wait back. That's what we were talking about with Carlos Gomez, waiting back nicely. He's always been a good fastball hitter, but this year able to wait back and make pretty good solid contact on the off-speed stuff. Curveball, and he will roll it in left.
See if Gomez is on the move. The score is 5-0, but Gomez has been running wild lately. Little tapper, and Lyles will make the play to first. Well, Gomez at second on the bounce out from Segura.
Say Lyles has a good sinker today. I mean, he's really doing a nice job tying the Brewer hitters up and keeping that sinker on their hands. Hasn't really left one out over the plate, up in the strike zone, and got to tip your hat. Been a good day for him so far.
Logan Schaefer announced as the pinch hitter, a low ball hitter. And Doug Brocail, the Astros pitching coach, quick visit to the mound and perhaps a scouting report on Logan Schaefer.
Well, hopefully they don't know he's a low ball hitter. He's done a nice job as a pinch hitter, though, in a short period of time. He's 4 for 7 using the home field.
Schaefer is 7 for 19 at the plate overall. Made a couple of starts. And 5 RBIs in just 19 at-bats. That ends the day for Mike Fiers, his last start of the year. Kind of a good news, bad news story for Fiers. He goes 6 innings. He strikes out 10, which matches a career best, but he gives up 5 earned runs today, and he's on the hook for the loss.
Not often you give up that many home runs and have 10 strikeouts.
All or nothing.
Two things that really don't go together.
Fiers allowed 4 home runs. Kinsler will be next. Brewers have just 2 hits. Gomez at second base with Schaefer at the plate. Last National League pitcher to allow 4 home runs combined with 10 strikeouts was Curt Schilling, and interestingly enough, it happened against the Astros.
About that.
That no courtesy of Mike Vasallo. Schaefer into center field deep. That ball's got some carry. Maxwell just in front of the wall makes the play. Gomez will tag and make it to third. Almost hit one out. 2 outs in the inning now. AT&T trivia today. Which team holds the National League record for most home runs in a season? And while the Brewers are having a great home run season as a team, they are not going to catch the 2000 Houston Astros. 249 team home runs that year, led by Jeff Bagwell's 47, which is still a franchise record. Bagwell, Richard Hidalgo, Moises Alou, Berkman. Big power hitters. Darrell Ward, remember him?
Yeah.
And the late Ken Caminiti was on that club. He had 15 home runs that year.
Candid hitter, Darrell Ward. He can hit him a long way.
Yeah, he could. I think he was the first one to hit it into the Allegheny River in Pittsburgh. Aoki pops this one up. And another 0 on the board for Jordan Lyles. 6 shutout innings on a 2-hitter. 5-0 Astros. by Toyota, and Mike Fiers tying a National League record today. He struck out 10 but gave up 4 home runs. Ties Kurt Schilling for a record for most home runs allowed versus the most strikeouts. And that's been the story for the Astros today. 4 homers. They lead 5-0. Home runs from Martinez and the pitcher Lyles. Back-to-back from Lowry and Dominguez in the 6th. And the new pitcher Brandon Kintzler will take over here in the 7th inning. 5-0 Houston. And Lyles, the pitcher, will lead off.
Yeah, good numbers for Kintzler. He's done a nice job since coming up. Last pitched on Thursday against the Reds. 2/3, gave up a hit, did not allow a run, has been unscored upon in 9 of his 11 appearances this year.
Jordan Lyles hit a long home run in the 5th inning. Looked like he knew what he was doing at the plate. His first career major league home run. It is his day today so far. He's got a home run, 6 shutout innings to the team that is one of the most prolific run scoring teams and home run hitting teams in baseball, the Brewers. Cue shot right to Corey Hart, and Kintzler is there for him for out number 1. Marshfield Clinic shining moment today, and a good news sight out there in the Brewers bullpen prior to the game. Chris Narveson, the first time on the mound, had shoulder surgery in May and a long summer of rehab and able to get on the mound for the first time, and congratulations to Narveson. That's a big step in coming back. I spoke to him after that session. He said he felt great and is very excited to keep taking these next steps in his rehab, and he thinks and hopes to be fully ready to go come spring training, and he wants to certainly make a run at a rotation spot in the Brewers rotation for 2013. Good for him.
Yeah, it looks like a good long rehab for him, and take it easy throughout the winter, but things are looking pretty good for a rotation for the Brewers. It's going to be a lot of competition down in Arizona this spring. And nice to have Narveson back. The Brewers certainly could use a left-handed starter, that's for sure.
Shoulder surgeries can be tricky. Some come back, some don't. It's not like the Tommy John procedure where the success rate is about 85 to 88%, I think, the pitchers who come back. Shoulders can be a little bit more tricky in that regard. And you feel bad for Narveson in this regard. He was just to the point of arbitration, which is the first year a player can really make the big dollars. And considering what Narveson has been able to do his last couple of years, he was due for a pretty good raise. Still going to get one, but not the kind that he would have had he had another big season this season. Well, we wish him well in his comeback. There's a strike called on the corner, and down goes Tyler Green. Out number 2 is Kintzler, picks up a strikeout.
He's got some nasty stuff. Brandon Kintzler, I mean, good velocity with good movement, good breaking pitch. You just hope he's going to be able to stay healthy, because he would be a nice addition to that bullpen next year.
Yeah, Brewers very encouraged what they've seen from their young relievers, or at least new relievers. Jim Henderson's not young anymore, but his first year in the big leagues. Henderson, Kintzler. Don't forget about the 2 arms the Brewers acquired in the Greinke deal along with Segura. Johnny Helwig and Ariel Pena. And some good talent coming up. Hiram Burgos had a great year. He was the minor league pitcher of the year. Still have the 2 first-rounders from a couple of seasons ago that will have a chance to elevate into Double-A or maybe Triple-A. Taylor Youngman and Jet Bradley. A lot of optimism right now with the Brewers' young pitching. That's how you stay good. That's how you compete with young pitching. Look at what the Orioles and the Oakland A's have been able to do this year.
And young pitchers with some good arms. And the Brewers certainly have a lot of those.
Oakland has 5 rookie starting pitchers right now in their rotation. 5 of them. And they're in the postseason right now if the season would end today. Swing and a miss. Kinsler strikes out Scott Moore. And 2 Ks for Brandon Kinsler. The Brewers have 12 strikeouts today against Astros pitching. We'll keep it right here. We turn it over to Rob Edwards and Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America.
As we honor our great nation with God Bless America, led by Martina McBride.
Inning and the story of the day, Jordan Lyles. Not only is he pitching well, a 2-hit shutout, He is also homered in this game. And the Astros tighten up their defense behind him as Brandon Barnes takes over in center field. That moves Justin Maxwell to right. Ricky Weeks leads off. He'll be followed by Braun and then Aramis Ramirez. And the Brewers running out of outs here as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Got to be tough to see at this point as the sun shines through the panels, and Lyle's in shade as he releases the ball. The hitter in sunlight. You see Ricky Weeks at the plate today, presented by Wendy's. Ricky Weeks into center field. Barnes is right there. Out number 1 as we check in with Sophia Minnaert. Well, I'm anxious to hear what folks are thinking about next year's schedule, Sophia.
Yeah, it's never too early to look ahead to next year, Brian, and fans already have some dates circled on their schedule. Let's take a look. Ramona said she's looking forward to Twins at the end of May and Cubs at the end of July because the best friend and I are short road tripping. Always fun when you can do that with your friend. Alex said, I can't wait to see the Crew take on the Cardinals April 12th through 14th. Whenever those two teams play, it's always a great game. And Cody said, I'm looking forward to the Angel series. Trumbo, Pujols, Trout, Weaver, they're stacked with terrific talent. Hard to disagree with that. And guys, what series do you have scheduled on your calendars?
I like all of those as Ryan Braun reaches on an infield hit.
I'll tell you, the series that I'm looking forward to, oddly enough, it's going to be a road trip. San Francisco, Seattle, Texas. 4 in San Francisco, 3 in Seattle. It's been a long time since the Brewers have been in Seattle. Right. Good towns.
Yeah, and then Texas, just a 2-game series. Brewers are going to have to go through that very tough American League West next year. The Brewers will play the Astros in Houston next season, as Sophia mentioned. And that'll be in mid-June, June 18th through the 20th, actually. That series in Houston. And there will be an interleague series every day of the year next season, somewhere in baseball. The Brewers will not play an interleague game on their schedule until May when they host the Rangers.
The Brewers have 2 different 10-day road trips and an 11-day road trip. Ooh. They've got an 11-gamer, or 11 days. 2 off days, but 11 days on the road in June.
That's not good. Ramirez into right, sending Maxwell to the track. And there is out number 2. By the way, the Brewers will have a series here, an exhibition series at Miller Park against the White Sox on the 29th and 30th of March. And the regular season begins April 1st next year against Colorado here at home. So the Brewers will start the season with a 6-game homestand, and then you add those 2 exhibition games, and you'll get 8 chances to see the Brewers in the early part of the schedule. 2 outs for Corey Hart. Braun at first. Used to be you tried to avoid the American League East when you went and played interleague. And that's the balance of power starting to shift to the American League West.
Lucky for the Astros.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough division to get thrown into when you're trying to rebuild a team.
And that DH role costs money, and the Astros aren't really ready to spend just yet. They're going to try to build their organization with draft picks, high draft picks. They will have the number 1 pick next year, as you see Hector Ambriz loosening. One ball, 2 strikes on Corey Hart. Brewers need a big hit. And that one misses up and away. 5-0 Astros. They've hit 4 home runs today. Mike Fiers went 6 innings, gave up those 4 homers. Struck out 10. Full count. Nationals made a bit of a run at St. Louis. They scored a few runs to get it to within 3. It was 7-4, and then the Cardinals came right back and put 2 more on the board to make it 9-4.
It's only the 5th inning, plenty of time.
But good day for the hitter. Hart pops this one up. And the shutout still intact for Jordan Lyles. 7 shutout innings on a 3-hitter. To the 8th we go. Performance from Jordan Lyles here today. Lyles has shut down this heavy hitting Brewers lineup. Our Pizza Hut delivery of the game. 7 shutout innings, only 3 hits allowed, and 2 of those hits are infield hits for the Brewers today.
Man, nothing really hit all that hard. I mean, he's really had good command of the sinker today. He's been very careful with his breaking pitch, and oh yeah, he's hit a home run. Hasn't needed many runs. He's got a 5-0 lead.
Putting together his best game of the season for the Astros. Astros are very high on Lyles. He's only 21. I think he is going to be a top of the rotation type pitcher, maybe a 2 or a 3 one day. There's a cue shot. Lowry hustling. Segura makes the play for the out. Lowry with that bulky knee brace. He doesn't run like he used to prior to the knee surgery. And Segura makes a nice play for the first out.
Well, quick with the transition from the glove to the hand, and right on the money with the throw. So it's very good athleticism, good balance, and a good throw. Not easy play. Watch how quickly he comes in. He surrounds it to get an angle on the throw, and right on the money. He's made all the plays.
Kinsler is retired 4 in a row. Took over for Fiers after Fiers went 6 complete. I saw Brandon's dad, Rick. He's here at the ballpark. And he said something that really brings it home when you consider the career of Brandon Kinsler, that started in affiliated ball, went to the independent leagues, and I mean, he's had a long road. Injuries. He said, I look at him on a major league mound, I still say, that's my son. I can't believe that's my kid.
And that'll never go away.
No, it's great. I love hearing that.
Never go away. My family's in town this week. We had a chance to visit with Taylor Green's folks. Family's usually lined up in the service level right outside the Brewers clubhouse door. And a lot of them out there.
Hard hit ground ball back up the middle, a base hit. Dominguez with a single. His second hit of the day, had one of the 4 homers in this game. Now we're getting ready for the final series of the season. Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Padres will wrap things up. All 3 games, night games, 7:10 starts. We're on the air here on Fox Sports Wisconsin at 6:30 for Brewers Live. Each and every day we'll be bringing you some interviews, trying to catch up with some of the top players on the Brewers Club and get their thoughts on the season this week. Great stuff today on our Brewers Live pregame show with Jonathan Lucroy and his good friend, former college teammate John Coker, who is in the military, he's in the National Guard, and was injured.
Yep, he was shot in the line of duty in Afghanistan and having a tough time walking. They say he's going to make a recovery. He's got some nerve issues in his leg, but coming along nicely. Jonathan flew him in for the weekend and taking care of his old buddy.
That was great to see and really nicely done. Craig Kashan talking to Lucroy and John Coker throughout the first pitch here on Friday night. Lucroy, more than any of the other players, is one of his chief charitable areas is military charities, and starts to give you a little understanding why when you see one of his best friends and his college teammate that has been injured in the line of duty and now back here at home trying to heal up both mentally and physically.
Yeah, Jonathan, one of the players that went on the Walter Reed visit when the team was in Washington, D.C. Does that every year.
That was a nice moment on a Brewers Live pregame. There's John. Friday night throughout the first pitch. Lucroy said he was a Carlos Gomez type outfielder for the Raging Cajuns.
A strong bond between the two of them, and Jonathan thinks a lot of him and says he's a inspiration to Luke when he's having a rough day. They inspire each other. Good friendship.
Yeah. Full count to Brett Wallace. Runner at first. Kinsler trying to keep the Astros at 5. Runner takes off. Wallace fouls it away. They had a dramatic comeback in Arlington. The Angels were down in that game until the 9th inning. They scored 2 off Joe Nathan to take the lead. Took Zach Greinke off the hook for a loss. Greinke pitched into the 8th inning in that game. Angels now lead 5-4, bottom of the 9th. That's the first of a doubleheader between the Angels and the Rangers today. Elsewhere in the American League, the Yankees all over the Blue Jays now, 9-5. Games in the 9th inning. Yankees and the Orioles are tied for the American League East lead. Baltimore has gone final. They beat the Red Sox 6-3. They keep winning.
Atlanta's winning again.
Behind Chris Medlin. As Wallace draws the walk. And 2 on here in the 8th. Our text question today, courtesy of Ho-Chunk Gaming. Brad and Spooner is asking, what potential postseason matchups intrigue you the most? Tough call. Don't know who's going to make it.
That's what I'm just trying to say. What you don't know really what's going on, especially in the American League.
I like that Reds Giants potential. That's how, if the season ended today, that's how it would start. Reds and Giants, the 2 division winners. That's got potential to be a good one. Bouncing ball. Weeks dives. to his feet, no play. Martinez able to leg it out, and the bases are loaded here in the 8th inning.
Reds are probably going to have home field for that series against San Francisco, but I wouldn't want to have to play my first 2 playoff games in San Francisco, not with their pitching, and they play very well in that ballpark.
Yeah, they're going to have Matt Cain and Madison Bumgarner start their series. Quick trip to the mound for Lucroy, as the Astros have loaded the bases here in the 8th. Justin Maxwell with the bases full. 2 hits in the inning and a walk. Maxwell is 1 for 3. Astros lead 5-0 on 8 hits. Astros have a pinch runner at first base, Brian Bogusevic. And he'll likely stay in the game to play in the outfield. There's a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count on Maxwell.
Tied him up inside, up and in. This is one of a good spot to throw that nasty slider down and away.
Pretty good numbers with runners in scoring position this year. It's Dominguez at third, had a 1-out single. Wallace walked, and then an infield hit by Martinez. The pinch runner is Bogusevic. 1-2, and a fly ball left field. Braun camping under it. Dominguez the runner at third. He will not test the arm of Braun. And that bounces up and off the mask of Lucroy.
Gave him a tough hop. It was in between hops, and Lucroy very fortunate that he was able to get a piece of that, or that one might have gone to the backstop, although Kinsel was back there. Upset with himself on the throw.
Didn't have that skip hop that you normally see. It must have hit something that popped it up a little bit. And good job by Lucroy. So the base is still loaded, 2 outs. It's the other part of Braun's game that goes unnoticed across Major League Baseball nationally. An excellent outfielder with a great throwing arm.
I see too many base runners these days trying to take liberties on his arm. They know he's a pretty accurate thrower from the outfield. And Dominguez staying put, no interest in trying to challenge that arm.
Braun came up as a third baseman. Played shortstop in college. There's a ground ball base hit. Corcoran will drive in 2 more. And it's 7-0 Houston. Whoa, this is a day to forget for the Brewers. In front of a packed house here on a Sunday. The Astros now up 7-0 in the 8th.
Well, second pitch, a fastball right down the middle, and Corcoran able to hit it hard into center field. Rough day at the office, both on the mound and at the plate for Milwaukee so far.
And that'll do it for Kinsler. So a pitching change with 2 outs in the 8th. And the Astros have opened up a big lead. Manny Parra coming in. We'll take a break. going to his bullpen once again. It has been a rough day for Milwaukee. Strange day. Mike Fiers had 10 strikeouts but gave up 4 home runs. Astros have added 2 more here in the 8th. It's now 7-0 Houston. And Manny Parra is next up for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, hasn't been out on the mound in a while. He last pitched on Monday against the Nationals, gave up 3 runs in 2 innings. His 60 appearances this year are a new career high for Manny. Needs an out to get here in the 8th.
First and third with 2 away in the 8th. Jordan Lyles, the Astros pitcher, at the plate. Lyles went deep in the 5th, and it was a no doubt about it home run. His first big league home run. Hit it up into the bleachers in left field on the Loge level. Good block by Lucroy. That saves a run, and that hurt him a little bit.
Yeah. That did not get chest protector or shin guard. Not even close. And that one right off the arm. And nice job of keeping in front of him. Not an easy pitch to block. Adding insult to injury. Rough day, and baseball gets a piece of him.
Bouncing ball to Segura. He'll take it to the bag himself, and the inning ends. Astros get 2 more. 7-0 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Here to say the least, 7-0 Houston over the Brooker here at Miller Park, and a very interesting final lineup. Mike Fiers today as well. 6 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 10 strikeouts, 4 home runs. That's half of what he gave up home run total wise going into this game, Davey. What have you noticed with Fiers?
Well, one of the things I've noticed, the first half of the season, Mike Fiers really used the inside part of the plate very well. Would pitch inside, knock guys off the plate. The second half of the season hasn't thrown in as much, never really established that inside, which made him a lot more effective when he did.
And this was a big start for him today, too, wasn't it?
It was, and it's almost like a showcase start to see that he could finish strong and to be impressive for next year.
All right, tough going for Fiers. Again, the 10 strikeouts, but the 4 home runs allowed in this game. We'll get to the bottom of it. Brewers Live coming up after the ball game. We'll hear from the clubhouse, and plenty more to come as Houston leads Milwaukee right now 7-0, Brian.
All right, thanks, Craig and Davey. Brian Bogusevic stays in to play right field. And for the second time in the series, that means Justin Maxwell will play all 3 outfield positions as Lucroy on the first pitch pops it up to center. 1 away for the Brewers in the 8th. think fatigue was a big part of Mike Fire's season, and he still has nothing to hang his head about in the season that he had. He has put himself in the discussion for a rotation spot next year, and you know, it's calculated. The Brewers trying to extend him a little bit and try to get him to an innings number that, you know, where it doesn't come into play next year. Remember, he pitched in winter ball as well.
Now, you know, today was a big disappointment for him. You know that going in at 9-9, he would love to be able to get through the winter with a 10-9 record. He wanted to finish under 500 with the season he was able to put together. Yeah, but the Astros have been tough on the Brewers all year this year. I mean, really, when you think about the fortunes of the Brewers and getting into that wild card chase toward the end, the Brewers, with a loss today to the Astros, go 9-8. So they win the season series, but you know, for a team that's lost 106 games and they won 52, I mean, they won 8 games, or they may win 8 games against Milwaukee.
Gomez pops it into foul territory. Corcoran right down the netting makes the catch.
And the Brewers last year against the Astros, 12-3.
That's the difference. There's a lot of statistical numbers you can look at with, you know, if the Brewers play better against this team or on the road, or bottom line is the Brewers just, they had their holes this season. They had a lot of late leads get away against Houston.
You know, and the Brewers are a team coming into today 45-33 against the Central, and most of their problems came against the Astros this year. It's kind of hard to figure.
You know, only the Reds had a better record against the Central Division among Central Division teams. Segura bounces to Lowry, and that is that. Jordan Lyles is pitching the best game of his career in the big leagues. 8 shutout. Final matchup of the year between the Brewers and the National League Houston Astros. Next time we see them, they'll be in the American League. Brewers will be headed to Houston next season for interleague play. It'll be interesting to see a designated hitter at Minute Maid Park. Manny Parra back on the mound to pitch the 9th inning. 7-0 Houston on 9 hits, including 4 home runs today. Tyler Green leading off. Parra got the final out of the 8th inning. Brewers Padres tomorrow. Sean Markham is up for Milwaukee, be his last start. Heading into free agency at season's end. Could be his last start as a Milwaukee Brewer.
And Clayton Richard tomorrow.
He's had a nice year, Richard. 14-game winner. 3.91 ERA. He's 14-13 this season. Pitching to decision a great deal. Tyler Thornburg's going to start on Tuesday, one of the young prospects out of the Brewers system. He'll get a chance to start for Willie Peralta. That'll be Thornburg against Casey Kelly. And then Gallardo will pitch the finale, looking for his 17th win of the year against lefty Andrew Werner.
Yep, all night games to finish it out here at Miller Park.
I think Gallardo just lets his hair grow the entire offseason. Significant in-season growth.
I think he's trimmed it up from time to time. I don't think he just lets it go wild. Do you?
I don't know. It looks pretty fluffy back there. Might be going for the Troy Polamalu look as Parra walks the leadoff man.
Didn't he cut his hair though?
I don't know. I don't think so. Did he? I don't know. I only see him on those Head and Shoulders commercials, so I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Leadoff base runner for Parra here is Brandon Barnes. Final day of September. Brewers are going to play in October, just not the October they were looking for. The postseason October. So the Angels came back to win that game, beating the Texas Rangers. So they're staying alive. Greinke was on the hook for the loss in that game before the comeback. It was Torrey Hunter who had the big 2 RBI hit. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Manny Parra.
Good split-fingered fastball that time from Manny. And Lucroy able to keep it in front of him for the strikeout.
Elsewhere in the American League, Prince Fielder just hit a big home run for the Tigers. His 30th of the year. Gave the Tigers a 2-1 lead as that game goes to the bottom of the 8th. Twins led 1-0 before Prince's home run. Tigers have a 2-game lead over the White Sox. White Sox are losing today to the Rays. And there will certainly be some grumbling on the south side after a September collapse. White Sox are trailing and they're facing David Price, who's making a run at 20 wins and possible Cy Young award. He and Jared Weaver probably the top 2 competing, maybe Justin Verlander. That'll be a close vote this year.
Yeah, not a very good finish to the season for the White Sox. They've only won 2 of their last 10.
They had a 3-game lead with 2 weeks to play. 2.5 weeks to play. And now they're in danger of falling 3 back with 3 left.
Hottest team in baseball right now is Tampa.
Yep.
A typical late season push. It might be a little bit too late.
Now the Rays, I think they're officially eliminated today that the Yankees won. Baltimore won as well. So yeah, the Rays cannot win a division title. And yep, they're out in the wild card race as well.
Red Sox are probably going to lose 90 games this year.
That's unbelievable,
isn't it?
Man, you wonder what that offseason is going to be like in Boston.
They're going to be screaming in Boston, that's for sure.
I think Bobby Valentine makes it through.
Who knows?
Bobby Valentine was almost the Brewers manager. Came down to Bobby Valentine and Ron Renicky. I think those were the last two still standing. I believe Joey Cora was on that list. On the final four. I'm trying to remember who the fourth one was. Maybe Pat Listash. There's a walk. Lowry is aboard. 2 on with 1 out. 2 walks issued by Parra, and Ron Renicky is on his way to the mound. And Parra knows what's coming here. So Josh Stinson will come in. Parra is out. A pitching change in the 9th. And we'll get another look at the young Stinson. Through this 9th inning, a couple of walks, and Renicky will make the call to the bullpen, and a good look at young Josh Stinson once again, who spent most of his season in Double-A.
Yeah, he's a starter. I mean, had pretty good numbers down in the minor leagues, and pretty good job so far in 4 games. Has not allowed a run. Yeah, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and just shy of 5 innings of work. Some consideration was given perhaps to allow Stinson to make a start on Tuesday, but it's going to be Thornburg.
You know, Stinson will be backing up Thornburg on Tuesday.
Been almost a week for Stinson as well. Monday against the Nationals. He threw well, an inning and 2/3.
Yeah, he's pitched well. He's shown a lot. The Brewers picked him up from the Mets off waivers this spring. Made his big league debut with the Mets last year. Actually got a save in the big leagues last season. Ball is hit in the air to left. Braun going back, feeling for the wall, and he's got it just up against the wall. Nice catch. Excellent play by Ryan Braun.
Yeah, just a little bit down on the end, or Dominguez would have had another home run. Kept him in the ballpark. Good job by Braun, knowing exactly where he's at. Feeling for the wall and hauling it in.
Here's Brett Wallace now, 2 away. So might get to see Braun hit one more time. The Brewers would need a base runner for him to bat in the 9th inning. Have a pinch hitter and then the top of the order. Nori Aoki is still trying to set a Brewers record, at least by himself, with an extra base hit. The last day of September here. Aoki has tied the franchise record for most extra base hits in the month of September. So he'll get an at bat in the 9th. That'll be out of play in the seats. 2-2 on Wallace. Well, the Brewers facing elimination from the postseason officially today. An elimination number at 1. The Cardinals leading against the Nationals. It's going to keep that National League East race on pace. As Wallace into right field. That's playable for Aoki. And the side is retired. Bottom of the 9th. Brewers coming up down 7-0. Jordan Lyles is the story right now. The Houston Astros sending their 21-year-old pitcher out for the 9th, and a chance to do something he's never done in the big leagues. A complete game shutout. 7-0 is the score. The Brewers are trailing here in the 9th inning. Nigel Morgan announces the pinch hitter. Marwin Gonzalez will enter the game at short. So Morgan's going to pinch hit for Stinson. Aoki to follow, then Weeks. If anybody gets on, Ryan Braun will bat. Excellent look as Morgan pops it into foul territory. Maxwell for the out. One away. You got to have fun at the old ballpark. You know what I mean? No matter what the circumstances are.
That's a big hair right there, right? Isn't that coming back? Talking about Yo's hair.
Beware of the hair. Aoki takes a strike. Jordan Lyles is homered today, his first big league homer. 2 outs away from a complete game and a shutout. Right back to the mound. Aoki is out and 2 gone. The Brewers down to their last out. Jordan Lyles, Rock, this is his best day ever, and he's showing you why that the Astros think he could be a top of the line starter at some point.
Yeah, Brewers have only had a man at second base one time today. That was the 6th. And John Lucroy got to second base, and a couple of at-bats with men in scoring position. 0 for 2 today for Milwaukee. He's only thrown 94 pitches with 2 outs in the 9th. It's been an impressive performance.
This is officially Lyles' longest outing of his career. It had been 8 1/3. He's 8 2/3 now. Astros have 2 complete games this season. Lucas Harrell and Dallas Keuchel each with complete games. Ball and 2 strikes on Ricky Weeks. This is pitch number 99 for Jordan Lyles. And up the middle. That's going to sneak through. A base hit. So Weeks keeps it going. And now at least another swing for Ryan Braun here today.
Just keep it going. 2-out approach for Ricky, shoots it back up the middle, and now you get to see Ryan Braun take another swing today.
And all those fans who hung in there get rewarded with a Braun at bat. You never know when he'll do something special. The Brewers would love to see him hit it in the seats and break this shutout. Braun has a hit, an infield hit. Lyles only given up 4 today. And 2 of them are infield hits. Sean Markham tomorrow for the Brewers. And the Padres coming to town. Final 3 games of the regular season. Then they close up shop here at Miller Park until next March, late March. Oh, 0-2 to Braun. And that's it. A complete game for Jordan Lyles. It's a shutout. A 7-0 Astros win, and the Brewers officially knocked out of postseason contention. They gave it a good run, but Milwaukee loses today, and there will be no postseason in Milwaukee in 2012. Astros win 7-0. First complete game for Lyles. He is now 5-12. Mike Fiers suffers the loss at 9-10. Much more still to come. We check in with Craig Kashawn